It's The Lit Show with Jeremy Fee. New episode each Tuesday. Authors welcome, comments encouraged. Hello everyone, welcome to The Lit Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Fee. As always, I've got something special for you today. It's my currently reading and potential TBR for October 2022, and I'm sure you realize October is the month of Halloween. And as a member of BookTube, AuthorTube, and HorrorTube, I always like to recommend that you read some scary stories, something spooky, or in the Halloween season here in October, and I am doing so as well. I am reading Lurking in the Dark, an amazing HorrorTube anthology put together by R. St. Clair. You can check out her channel, Regina's Haunted Library. It is a collection of short stories written by author-tubers, booktubers, horror-tubers, and there's a story from me in the collection called Windigoner. Very happy, very honored, very proud to have a story in the collection. I have had a chance to read through the advanced reading copy, and I'm very impressed by the stories in there that I've seen, and I highly recommend that you check it out. The proceeds go to charity. We're not making a profit off of this book. We're donating the money. So you can see all those details at Regina's channel, and if you buy the book, it'll talk about that in there as well. In addition to Lurking in the Dark, I want to continue reading The Expanse. The Expanse series is one of those series that I've heard people talking about for years, and I've wanted to get through it. It's my goal to try and get through The Expanse by the end of the calendar year. I've already read the prequel short story, and now I'm getting into the main books in the series. It looks like almost every book has some sort of short story or novella in between before the next book. So in addition to reading the 9 main books in the series, I'm going to try and read those short stories or novellas that are in between them as well. So that may take up a lot of my reading because there are so many books in the Expanse series. From NetGalley, I have been reading an advanced reading copy of a fantasy novel called Empire of Exiles. It's by Erin M. Evans, and I previously read some of her writing that's set in the Dungeons & Dragons Forgotten Realms universe, and I liked her writing. I thought her characters were interesting, but I had no idea she was this good. Okay, from what I've gotten through with Empire of Exiles, I am really impressed. The world building is spectacular. There is a murder mystery going on in this fantasy story, but it is embedded in the politics and the history of these characters and what's going on with them. Really great characters, great interaction. I love the way that the world building is accomplished with the mystery elements as little bits are revealed. So I highly recommend Empire of Exiles thus far. I'm hoping the ending is going to work out well. If I have time to get to them, I want to read Brian Lee Durfee's books, The Forgetting Moon and The Blackest Heart. He is an author who is traditionally published, but also he's on BookTube. So he is, I suppose you could say, an author tuber. He does book reviews for a lot of fantasy. I also need to get to Dane Cobain's books, Former.ly and Meet, and based on the blurbs for the books, they sound like they would be great for the spooky season. They sound like they would be great if you're trying to read some horror this month. And I think that's enough. I think reading Lurking in the Dark, some Expanse books, Empire of Exiles, the Brian Lee Durfee books, and the Dane Cobain books, that should definitely get me through October. But if you have more book recommendations, if you have suggestions, then I am happy to hear them. Something else going on this month is this is the month before National Novel Writing Month, which is November, NaNoWriMo. And a lot of authors who do NaNoWriMo consider October to be Preptober. And this is where I've got to tell you, I've been having an issue as an author. I have these horror and murder mystery stories that I've written, short stories in a shared town universe, and I've been trying to revise them, but every time I try and work on my writing, there is this fantasy novel that just keeps popping into my head. This fantasy novel that won't let me go. So I'm thinking for Preptober and NaNoWriMo that I will be working on my fantasy novel, Apocalypse Army. because I've got to get it out of my head. It's just one of those things as a writer. Hopefully you can understand if you write as well. Sometimes characters and stories just get in your head and you got to get them out. I will potentially, in addition to everything else I do, be working on Preptober, preparing my outlines and character preparation so that in November I can hopefully once again have a successful NaNoWriMo experience, potentially as a novella, maybe not a full-length fantasy novel. But we'll see. We will see. Feel free to leave me comments down below about your writing as well if you are participating in NaNoWriMo and or Preptober. As I like to say, every day is a good day for a book talk. Peace.